Vice President Sara Duterte has submitted her reply to the summons sent to her by the Senate Impeachment Court. The House Prosecution Panel was also furnished copies of the reply. Its spokesperson says Duterte's reply was not the bloodbath that they were expecting. And joining us tonight is none other than the House Panel spokesperson, Bucoy, to share with us his other thoughts on the Vice President's plea. Good evening and welcome to The Big Story, Attorney.
Good evening, and thank you for the invitation.
We understand that you just finished a meeting. Do we assume that it's the House Prosecution Panel?
Yes, just a meeting with the House Prosecution Panel.
So do you have news for us?
Oh, yes. First, we are filing a manifestation tomorrow relating to the entry of appearance ad cautelam and a resubmission of the entry of appearance made by the public prosecutor. And second, we're going to file a submission submitting to the impeachment court the compliance with the first requirement that they imposed, which is the certification that the House complied with the constitutional requirements when they filed the impeachment complaint.
All right. So once again, two things: a manifestation, and second, the compliance with the first request of the Senate Impeachment Court.
Impeachment.
Right.
That is correct.
But part of the reply of the Vice President was that there was no impeachment complaint to begin with because it was remanded to the House. What will be your comment to that? Will that be part of your manifestation?
No, that would be appropriate for the reply that we will file.
Which will
It will be which will be filed on Friday.
Okay. May we go back to the manifestation? What are the contents of that manifestation to be filed tomorrow?
Okay, the manifestation will consist of a challenge to the defense in relation to their entry of appearance ad cautelam and a resubmission of the entry of appearance of the public prosecutor. Why resubmission?
Okay.
A point was raised that the entry of appearance of the public prosecutors were made before the impeachment court was convened. So we're willing to refile it, just so that we can dispense with this preliminary. But again, the second subject matter would be in reference to the entry of appearance ad cautelam. Because to us, if you say entry of appearance ad cautelam, you do not recognize the jurisdiction of the impeachment court. So we're going to address those two issues.
Is that standard, Attorney Bucoy? I mean, I know it means literally with caution, but can we really just assume that they don't, recognize the jurisdiction of the impeachment court?
Because the ad cautelam does not exist in the rules of court. The closest to an ad cautelam pleading is a special appearance. Now, when you make a special appearance on behalf of a client, you question the jurisdiction of the court. But you have to state the reason why you are questioning or challenging the jurisdiction of the court. In the case of the entry of ad cautelam filed by the defense, they did not provide any reason why it is ad cautelam. So they must explain why it is ad cautelam.
Sayang, you're breaking up. But anyway, why did the panel see this as necessary to be filed tomorrow before your answer on Friday? Because you want to get this technicality out of the way?
That's correct. We want to call the attention of the impeachment court that they are filing pleadings, they're availing of pleas, yet they have not recognized the authority or jurisdiction of the court.
So this is, you see it as an urgent thing that you have to clarify to the impeachment court?
Yes. It is with urgency that we have to bring this to the attention of the impeachment court.
Well, attorney, the impeachment court, or rather the prosecution panel, does have 5 days to respond to VP Sara's ad cautelam entry. But you guys are submitting your answer on Friday instead of Monday, ano? Does that mean that the impeachment or the prosecution panel is really keen on fast-tracking this impeachment process?
We have been keen since February 5. We've been waiting for this. Now that they have filed the answer, we want to move this forward.
And this ad cautelam entry done by the Vice President means that this process is still in motion.
That is, we will put that on the table. We will leave it now to the impeachment court to determine how to treat that.
Clarification lang rin, attorney, no? This request na yung first request of the Senate Impeachment Court, yung to validate na you did not violate the Constitution, why did you have to wait for tomorrow pa if you see urgency in responding tomorrow to the Vice President's answers?
No, you're referring to two matters. One is the certification.
Yes.
Okay? Vis-a-vis the
pa
first
kayo?
matter. No, because we had to weigh our options. We had to determine what the repercussions were. Now, we have weighed into this and we have determined that we cannot move this forward and let this issue be a hindrance or a delay to moving this process forward. So we have decided, we've come to an agreement that, okay, let's just comply so we can move this forward.
Right, but how can it
Now,
move
with
forward?
respect to-
Go ahead.
With respect to the second requirement, we're prepared to comply. But we have to wait until the 20th Congress.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How can it move forward when it's, I guess, physically impossible to comply with the second requirement?
Impossible to comply right now. But the first thing that we will request the House is to satisfy or comply with the second requirement, which is a declaration or affirmation that the 20th Congress is pursuing the impeachment complaint.
All right. Now, in your briefing earlier, you seemed to be quite disappointed with the Vice President's reply to the summons.
Yes. Because the Vice President could not extricate herself from ordinary rules of procedure instead of addressing the substance of the impeachment complaint.
So isn't that normal though, attorney? I mean, lawyers would usually try to do that as a first effort, right?
It's an option for them, kumbaga, attorney.
Not in the case of impeachment. This is accountability. She said she wants to clear her name. But by doing this, she's not opening the path to clearing her name. She's resorting to procedural technicalities instead of addressing the factual allegations in the charges. So I'm disappointed. She wants a bloodbath. We don't have a bloodbath with this kind of an answer. However, on the part of the prosecution, once the trial starts, we will lay down the evidence. Now, it's up to the Vice President to contribute this.
So, attorney, is it fair to say that this is a deliberate diversionary and delaying tactic on the part of the Vice President and her defense team?
It's diversionary.
And what will happen? I mean, we do understand you're not taking your full 5 days to file your reply, the non-extendable 5 days. But if you do file by Friday, which is June 27, 28, 29, 30, it will be the Monday, and the mandate of the 19th Congress will end. What do you hope that these early submissions will, garner the prosecution?
We don't have to wait until the 20th Congress to file the reply because we have a deadline. We have to file this within 5 days from receipt of the answer. So the reply actually falls due on Saturday. But
Right.
if we're ready to file it on Friday, we might as well file it.
Okay, attorney, since galing kayo sa mahabang meeting ng panel, may you give us a taste of how the panel will be replying? What will be the major gist?
I don't want to preempt this. let's just wait for the reply.
But okay, if you say na kulang sa, di ba, the Vice President promised bombast, like a bloodbath, and then you saw the answer na puro procedural, will you go to the meat? Without preempting the panel, attorney, just give us the, the general trend of the thinking of the panel.
We will address the issues that were raised. Issues of jurisdiction, issues of non-compliance with the one-year bar rule,
Okay. So those
issues about
arguments
allegation.
that we've been listening to time and time again, the usual, did you violate
If you
the
will notice,
Constitution?
okay,
Did the three?
Yes, yes. If you will recall, these are the same issues that they raised in the petition before the Supreme Court, where they sought an injunction against the impeachment complaint proceedings. These are also the same grounds that were echoed by Senator De La Rosa when he spoke on the floor as a judge when he moved to dismiss the articles of impeachment. This is nothing new, but we want now to make this off record.
Right.
There's nothing in the impeachment court now that explains this on record. So we want to put this on record.
Okay. Now, on the returned articles of impeachment, how would you now address this technicality pointed out by the VP in her reply na they don't even exist?
That's wrong. The articles of impeachment exist because it stands before the impeachment court. No less than the impeachment court said that this is not a dismissal. This is just a return.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Now,
were very
the
clear.
articles of impeachment were also attached to the summons. She was able to respond to the articles because it was attached. The impeachment articles are very much alike. There's no issue about that.
So, parang you find that a flimsy argument?
It is flimsy, it's absurd.
All right.
And it is a legal impossibility. What she's saying is a legal impossibility.
Okay. And the manifestation tomorrow, attorney, as a last question, is this going to be released via paper submission? Is it going to be via press con?
It is going to be submitted by paper submission. I don't think we need a press con for that.
So no press con tomorrow from you.
Wala po. Wala po.
And attorney, one final question for me. You did say that the House panel plans to challenge the defense entry of appearance ad cautelam. What does that exactly mean, attorney? If you can help break that down for us.
The defense, the appearance ad cautelam is an introduction of the defense lawyers, informing the court and the adverse counsel that these are the lawyers who are going to represent the Vice President. It's ad cautelam. However, it's ad cautelam. Like I said, they enter their appearance without recognizing the authority of the court, nor submitting to the jurisdiction of the court. So we're putting that on the table. We're raising that issue before the impeachment court.
So does that mean, attorney, you are challenging the appearance of the defense or yung pag-qualify nila ng ad cautelam or with caution?
We're calling them on their ad cautelam entry. They're labeling or they're characterizing their entry to be ad cautelam, meaning for caution. You enter your appearance, you make it categorical.
Okay. So yung
Alright.
last question na lang talaga, totoo na to, attorney. Kasi
Ako
na-defer.
meron pang
Oh, sige,
isa.
from me. Tapos after yung na-defer, dinefer kasi, di ba, yung pagtanggap nung niremand, ni-return, yung articles of impeachment.
Opo.
Anong magyayari doon? Hantayin na natin yung next Congress or?
No, yung pero ng pagtanggap, hindi yung articles of impeachment, yung return of the articles ang dinefer. There was a resolution, there was a motion that was passed by the 19th Congress.
Yeah.
That is now water under the bridge. Kasi we will already address the requirement in that for the return. We're complying with the requirement. So that's water under the bridge. It's no longer it's a non-issue anymore.
Okay.
Are you sure? Baka ma-technical kayo dyan.
Hindi. We just want to move this forward.
Okay, My last question, attorney, is this.
Go ahead.
You know, marami kayong abogado dyan sa House panel, both, congressmen and private prosecutors. Are you in unison? Nag-agree ba unanimous dito sa strategy ninyo sa pagsagot pa lang na ibibigay nyo on Friday and the manifestation tomorrow?
That's the collective decision.
Okay. 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 Do you want to elaborate?
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, we thank you for talking to us here on the big story. Next time, sana po Zoom, but we understand you just finished the meeting and mainit-init pa yung binalita nyo sa amin. Maraming salamat. House Panel
Maraming salamat din.
Spokesperson Antonio Bucoy.